Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The campaign is Our Lady of Sorrow. Our Ladies, boy, I can't get that right. Our campaign is Our Ladies of Sorrow. It was written by Kevin Ross. Our game master is Alex Sun, and this is episode 9. A recap will be given by Holly Buto as her character, June Abear. So, without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Holly?
Thank you, Thom. The tragedy at the Three Sisters apartment building has left us all reeling, especially after the loss of Milton. He will be deeply missed. But I fear that our struggles with these entities aren't over yet. Nathaniel's daughter Ellie has gone missing while hiking with friends. They went missing in the Desert of Sighs. We decided to follow the trail that Ellie and her friends mapped out. The desert is so miserably hot, and Antonio caught a glimpse of something or someone, maybe, at the periphery of his vision, gone on further inspection. The man with the cow skull head appeared briefly to Rooster when we went to look at the maze landmark on Ellie's map. He was pointing southeast, away from the safety of the trail. We decided to strike out in that direction, desperately hoping for a clue, and we found the body of one of Ellie's friends, Jesse, desiccated and shriveled, looking as though it had been there for weeks rather than a few days. First the catatonic boy in the hospital, and now this girl. It's terribly sad, and it frightens me to think of what's become of Ellie. Jessie had a camera on her body. Among the pictures of teenagers goofing around and cheesing for the camera, we see figures lurking in the background. Are they responsible for what happened? There were also pictures of native cave paintings, but the paintings showed skyscrapers rising up above primitive homes and medieval structures, exactly as described in the books written by Enrique Echevarria, describing his experience being lost in the desert as a child. And last night, Rooster and Nathaniel had strange dreams of a mysterious woman walking 3 dogs. She said we weren't there yet, and that Ellie had gone home. Whatever that means. There are too many coincidences to ignore any longer. I realize that some of us are trying to apply logic to this situation to force reason and rules, but I think we're beyond that, and ignoring the signs is not only foolish, but deadly. I don't want to lose anyone else. This is clearly the work of Mater Suspiriorum. Kirk has gone to Las Vegas to speak with Mr. Echevarria about the cave paintings. We should attempt to locate the cave and see the paintings for ourselves, or go speak to the locals in Peach Springs and see if we can learn more about the lore.
Thank you, Holly. So we are going to jump a little away from the main group and head on over somewhere else. It is the early morning of Monday, August 17th, at the Mojave County Sheriff's Office. So, Deputy Brigham McCullen, Sheriff Thom Gus, a barrel-chested man, calls you into his office. I'm assuming you go in?
Yeah. Well, what is it? What is it, Gus?
Well, gestures towards a seat. He's currently sporting a buzz cut for his blonde hair, and he wears a drab tan uniform that is spotless. He's well built despite his age, and he's comfortable wearing all the equipment on his belt. Deputy McCullen, come on in, kid. Sit down.
I take the seat.
There's the issue of the 5 missing students, those missing hikers, consisting of Nick Karras, Ellie Pickering, Chad Mancina, Jeremy Brenton, who's currently in the hospital, and Jesse Mormon. So recently, a search party has formed by one of the relatives of Ellie Pickering, Nathaniel Pickering. I'd like you to keep an eye on them, assist them in any way, escort them, make sure that they don't get hurt. And as you know, we've already conducted searches of the Hualapai Valley, the Grand Wash Cliffs, the Music Mountains, as well as the reservation itself. We've done searches by air and on the ground, but we haven't found any trace of any students. I find it very peculiar that they were able to find the body that they did yesterday. That being said, he gives you the address to the hotel where they're staying at, and he leans in. He says, "Something's not right with the body. They've only been missing for 5 days now, but the body looks weeks old. But that DNA matches up to be of Jesse's."
That's interesting.
Yeah.
How long have the kids been in the state?
They've been here for 2 or 3 days now. And like I said, we searched the air and we didn't see any sign of that body, but they were able to find it.
Interesting.
And
they brought it in?
Yeah, we sent out a search party earlier last night. We were able to bring it in right at the coordinates that they provided us, but they disturbed the body and they didn't take any pictures. So make sure you are on top of that, because I've only got so much goodwill.
Civilians.
Right. So why don't you head out right now and give me some daily reports?
All right, sounds good, Sheriff. I got out there. Damn odd.
Good luck. And he gives you what they look like as well. So hopping back to the hotel that you're staying at Kingman, you all receive a group text message from Kurt.
Oh, here's a message from Kurt.
It says, "I'm sorry, guys. I can't do this anymore. It's too dangerous and unsafe in this desert. I feel like we're all way over our heads. I'm heading back to Boston."
Kurt's on his way back to Boston. I was afraid, considering everything that happened, that he might freak out.
I don't blame him, honestly, It's
a
been
lot.
Yeah, but we can text him once in a while to see that if he's
Check
doing
up
all
on
right.
him. Yeah. I mean, dude just lost pretty much everything. So
I just hope that he's not in danger. I mean, I think that we're all in danger.
Yeah.
I hope he just goes into an
At least he's
asylum or
aware,
something.
right? Like he knows the things to look for. I don't know.
Maybe space. I think physical space between us and him might be better for now.
Yeah.
He's been through a lot.
I think he knows what's best for him and knew his limits, and he reached his trigger point.
I think
Well, it's sad and disturbing.
the path he is set on, was a good one, though, to go talk to the author about his experiences. And
Yeah, well, now we
how
don't
they
know.
relate. We can catch up with the author another time. We know where he is.
Yeah, or even we can give him a call.
Did he
Like I said,
actually
right
talk
away.
to the author, or did he
It
just...
didn't seem like he did. He just got out of there.
Well, we did say we're going to go to Peach Springs, right?
Yeah.
Go to the...
Yeah, is the man that we're looking for, is that the Dave Youngblood there?
Yeah, the police
Yes.
chief there is named Dave Youngblood.
Okay.
And you're currently all at the hotel, probably prepping for the day, maybe even having some breakfast. So you're all ready to head out to Peach Springs, or are you going to do something else in Kingman, Arizona?
Did we want to try to at least touch base with the author? Maybe leave a message, or
Well, maybe we can make an appointment.
make an appointment. Yeah.
See him in a couple days.
Yeah. To see if he's available, I can give him
Right.
a call. I read his book. Both Kurt and I read.
Yeah.
His
Well,
book.
then you go ahead, Andy. Seems like you'd be a good person
Alright.
to do it.
Is there a number that Andy can call?
There is.
He had it in the book. Sometimes at the back, it tells you a little bit about the author, and they might have an email address.
He's going to try to call first, so he's dialing.
All right. So you dial the number, Antonio. A woman's voice answers the other end of the phone, and she states, "This is Enrique Echevarria's assistant. How may I help you?"
Oh, hello. My name is Antonio Argento. I'm just calling to see if I can arrange an appointment with Enrique.
Yes, he's currently out right now, but I can have him call you back within 2 hours.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I happen to have read his book, and I actually would like to ask more questions if he can. It's quite fascinating.
Oh, well, we're pleasantly surprised that you're a big fan, and we're wondering if is this also a business opportunity? Is this for a business venture?
Yes. My friend Kurt and I both read your book, and also Kurt happens to be a writer for his Strange but True blog. So most definitely he would write about your book to give more exposure to your to the book, to Enrique's book.
Excellent. So, like I said, I'll have him call you back. This number okay?
Yes, it's just fine. Right. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. She hangs up.
Yes, the assistant answered the phone, and she said that Enrique will come back to me in a couple of hours.
Hopefully we'll be able to get a signal out in the desert.
Yes. She did ask if this is a business opportunity. If anything, I don't mind even paying for the interview, or at least to pay for his time. I don't mind that at all.
Right.
So,
Well, worst case scenario, we play phone tag for a little while, but it'll be okay.
yeah. Sounds good.
All right. So you're going to be heading out to Peach Springs, I suppose. Yes. Then, as you step out of your hotel, you notice there's a Sheriff County squad vehicle, SUV, parked in front. And Brigham, you see them come out of the building.
Excuse me, is one of you Nathaniel Pickering?
Yes, sir, that'd be me.
Good morning. I'm Deputy McCullen with the Mojave County Sheriff's Department. I was told that you're out here looking for your kid. Is that right?
Yes, we are. We haven't had any luck, but yeah, we've been working with your department a little bit, asking them what we know. We actually found one of the victims, I guess you'd call it, Jesse, out in the desert yesterday.
Right. Well, I've been tasked by Sheriff Gus to accompany you, to assist you in your efforts to find your daughter and the.
Well, I really appreciate that, sir. That would help us a lot. I've had nothing but good things to say about your department since we got here. It's been very good to work with.
I would expect nothing different.
We're heading over to the Indian reservation. Are you allowed to do that?
Yeah, we have close ties with the rest of the reservation police.
Right. So you would know Dave Youngblood, by any chance?
A little vaguely. We've met before, but not. I don't know him well, I'd say.
Well, I don't know, Kang. Should we? Fill you in on some of this? You probably read the report, how we found the body yesterday.
Yeah, it's quite peculiar.
Well, we kind of figured that if none of you had found any evidence along the trail, that we should leave the trail. So we were walking out into the desert in the intention of just not getting lost, and there it was. So they must have left the trail.
Certainly.
Yeah, and I'm sure that your department has gotten the pictures that we gave to you. I think that they were headed
to pictures? I wasn't aware there were any pictures.
You didn't take pictures.
No, didn't we make copies
No, we gave them the original. I downloaded them into my computer and I gave them the
The pictures from Jesse's camera.
Right.
Oh yes, not pictures you took, but pictures from
correct. Right.
Jesse.
So
Yes,
we just found a camera and so I don't really know what they were. I mean, I'm hoping that those pictures lead us to where they were going or coming from. That's our only lead. So I don't know.
So are you going up to Peach Springs to see if any of the folks up there know what these caves are or where these caves are?
Yeah, they're the closest resource to the area, so I'm wondering if they know something that we haven't learned yet. You know, they might have some more leads or information about this case. We haven't for sure consulted with them yet. I'm not sure how much Mojave County has talked with them about the case, but I figured it'd be a good place to start.
Well, that's some good instincts. You on the force yourself where you're from, or?
No, well, my daughter is one of the ones missing, so I'm really racking my brain here. If I really need to bring her home, and so I'm just trying to cover all my bases.
Right.
And just for the sake of the viewers, could you describe what you look like, Deputy McCullen?
Oh, sure. Deputy McCullen, I kind of a tall kind of lean build, but not like scrawny. I have a kind of that lean muscle and keep a well-trimmed beard, well-trimmed hair, not like the player, but very, very, very clean cut, very serious looking, and early 30s, kind of light brown hair. So
okay, excellent. So you've got a rental vehicle, and then you've obviously got the Mojave Squad SUV. So how are you getting to Beach Springs?
Hey, can we take a ride with you? Because
It might take us more seriously.
that's fine. That's all fine with me.
Okay.
Who's going to go at the back? Who's going to be at the front?
I'll sit in the back.
Shotgun.
Then
I'll go at the back.
it's mostly decided.
Yeah. It'll be cramp ride.
Yeah.
Oh man,
So-
are these the doors you can't open from the inside?
They
Of
are.
the back
They are the
seat?
doors
Dang
you
it.
can't open from the back.
It's okay, Brigham. You can put the cuffs on June. She's trouble.
Well, it's always good to know which ones are trouble.
All right. So
it's
you
going to be
will start setting
crammed
up?
for everybody. 3 in the back, and then Nathaniel's sitting next to my my laptop thing that they have. So
Yes. So
the only one with
Peach,
any room is myself.
so Peach Springs has a population of about 1,300 people. As you drive up the dusty highway, you can see empty lots full of dead grass surrounded by chain link fences and open skies. Telephone poles dot the horizon, and there's only a few buildings in this small town. There's some people out currently tending to their daily chores. In this town, there's the police department, a grocer and trading post, as well as a small school.
Start with the police department, I suppose. Yeah.
All right.
No objections from me, and since I'm the one driving.
Great. So you pull into the parking lot of the police station and walk into the main building, where you're greeted by a young secretary. He's a young man, and his name is Charles, as says his tag. He looks up at you and he says, hello.
Morning,
How can I help
son. We were hoping to speak with a Youngblood.
Police Chief Dave Youngblood? Yeah.
Yep, that's the one.
Let me check his calendar. Yeah, he's free right now. And he picks up the phone, calls his office. And you hear like a grunt on the other end. He's like, all right, well, please sit down. He'll be right over there. A very young, barely 30 years old, tall and broad shoulders man comes out from the hallway and he says, "Oh, hello. You were asking for me? I'm Dave Youngblood, police chief of this establishment."
Nice to meet you. I'm Chief. I'm Deputy McCullen with the Mojave County Sheriff's Office.
Oh, what brings you around these parts?
These folks here are out looking for a group of missing students who they were out hiking in the desert of Sighs and managed to get themselves lost.
His daughter.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that.
Including Mr. Pickering's daughter, Ellie, here. So we were just seeing... just wanted to inquire with the... with you, see if you've had seen any signs of them, or might be able to point to some local caves that the students we recovered a camera and the students had taken some photos. So
here, I can show you some of the pictures.
He takes the camera and flicks through some of the photographs and hands it back to you. Why don't we go into this conference room?
Sure.
Make yourself some comfortable. I'll have Charles get some coffee for all of you. You like donuts?
Sure.
Excellent. And he enters a large conference room with a giant oak table and sits down. Coffee is served to all of you. And he says, well, if there was any sign of these missing hikers, I'd report that to the sheriff. Sheriff Gus, deputy. And as for caves, there's definitely a lot of caves in the Grand Canyon, but I don't recognize these cave paintings at all.
Well, we're pretty much, and I show him like our little hand-drawn map, mm-hmm. that it's going to be somewhere along here because this is where they were hiking. And they have pictures of this, the three sisters, the shrooms, and so forth.
Yes, rock formations.
And we found the girl yesterday, her body, right about here, off the trail. So it's somewhere in this area that we expect there should be a cave, because they got the pictures of the cave.
Okay. Well, I've been down that trail myself, and I haven't noticed any caves with those paintings. Those are quite odd.
Yeah.
I thought so too.
Do
you explore the caves very often, though, Sheriff?
Well, I go occasionally to keep in shape, but like I said, I haven't seen anything like those paintings.
We were also wondering if there's a member of your tribe that might know a little bit something about dream interpretation and traditional magic. There are some very strange things that have happened along this investigation.
I would, if you're trying to look into the spiritual aspect, I'm not quite familiar with such things, actually. And you can see that the conference, it's not decorated at all with any spiritual stuff.
Sure.
Nor his office, which you passed by. And he says, but I know someone who is. His name's Old Thom. He's a local, and he loves telling stories to tourists, but if that's what you want to hear. I don't advise you to talk to someone named Joseph Two Knives. He's not to be trusted. He has a reputation as a sorcerer, but it's just window dressing to see him to make him seem scarier.
Excuse me, sir. Does he ride a motorcycle and have a jacket with 2 daggers crossed on it?
Yep, that'd be him. He sighs.
Okay.
We've seen him. Then. Well,
he is a alleged
anyways.
drug trader,
but
we haven't gotten any evidence yet.
Yeah, I saw him in Kingman.
Yeah, he likes to go to Kingman, Peach Springs, and around the area.
So, what sort of things besides drug dealing does he get involved with? What's his reputation?
Well, he hangs out a lot at bars in Kingman, Arizona, as well as clubs where he can peddle drugs.
well, we don't want to have anything to do with anybody like that. We'll stick with.
Oh, you better not.
You
Why
said
do they know
old Thom.
As a sorcerer?
Like I said, he just has a reputation for being spooky.
Sure. Well, thanks for the heads up.
Yep.
Anyways, we wanted your permission because we might be wandering around a bit, trying to see if we can find anything.
Don't get lost in those deserts. There's a lot of tales of gurus or who go on pilgrimages, or even people who go off into the desert to get high. They get lost, and it's tragedy all around.
Hey, I got one more thing to ask you.
Yep.
So one of the outfitters in Kingman let us borrow this doll. He said that it was good luck, or it would guide us home, or back to Kingman, or something like that. I pull it out. Does this mean anything to you?
No?
Okay, just figured I'd ask.
There's also one thing. Are you familiar with the story of Enrique Echevarria's books, Design Desert? It talked about him and his mom.
Yeah, I actually have heard of that book. I think that book is bad news because it gets people curious about this city that's not there, and then they go into the desert and they get lost.
Is this something you hear often, or it's just been popularized
Occasionally.
by this book? Oh,
Occasionally. I mean, that's from the people we hear back from.
I see. And it's the same thing, this weird city, but
I'm not quite an expert on these fairy tales.
most likely old Thom might know about this, right?
Probably.
The only reason why we're asking is because there was some evidence to show that these kids were doing a little bit of exploring along those lines. We're just trying to see if we can find a trail that they were following. Obviously, they weren't along this trail, but they were somewhere nearby. So,
yeah, I know the sheriff, Mojave County Sheriff. He sent some planes to look out for him, but those planes weren't able to spot anything.
That's
Well,
that is correct.
we almost missed that. The body that we did find, it was buried.
she was
deep.
half buried. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you good luck on your search. I can't imagine the pain that you're going through, Nathaniel.
Just trying to distract myself with the work.
All right, well, if you need anything, here's my personal number.
Appreciate
Thank
that,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
He slides that over.
Thank you so much for your time.
Of course. Give Sheriff Gus my regards.
Will do.
So as we go back out to the car, I say, Deputy, part of that probably seemed a little weird to you. Why are these fellows looking into Indian mysticism or Native American mysticism?
Oh, a bunch of people from out of state coming around looking into native mysticism is one thing that's common enough. Just a little. The odd part, I suppose, is what connection you have to these kids. I mean, Nathaniel was Ellie into this sort of thing? Is that why her and her friends came out here?
I don't think it's what brought him here. I mean, she was always interested in a bit of the occult. I run a curio shop back in Massachusetts, and we deal in a lot of kind of esoteric paintings and artifacts and stuff like that. But I really think they were just coming out here for recreation. I mean, unless there's some sort of tie-in that we're going to figure out, that maybe one of her friends was interested in this Echevarria story and wanted to go see what it was all about.
The Greek boy.
Yeah, Nick
I thought he
Karras.
was into it.
Yeah, he's the one who convinced all of them to come out here.
He did bring him out here. I just, at first I thought it was just to come out here and go for a hike, but maybe this Karras, maybe he was tied in with all these myths and legends, and they got in a little bit too deep.
Well, Deputy, I imagine a scenario where at some point in the future you find out things about us. So I want to be on the level with you and start out, so that you know what's going on. None of us are particularly interested in the occult, but when we were back in Boston, something happened, and I don't know what you'd call it, some sort of spiritual disaster. I forget, 5 or 6 people ended up dead. And we had been investigating into it, and it was very strange. But now we think there might actually be a connection out here as well. And I'm afraid that there could be something quite, I don't know, I'm sounding like a crackpot.
I'll clarify everything he's saying. I don't know what you believe, Deputy, but there was something going on in Boston that I think is connected to what's going on here.
And we were quite alarmed because there's a rock formation out in the desert called the Three Sisters. And that doesn't sound like it should mean much, except that when this all started in Boston, it was a hotel named the Three Sisters, where all these people were murdered. And it burnt to the ground. And now we find the Three Sisters out here again. It's...
yes, that was quite an ordeal, and we lost a dear friend, or we failed to save a dear friend.
He committed suicide.
Well, tragedy has a way of bringing out certain characteristics of human behavior and psychology. I mean, experiencing tragedy, there's something one might call it, a sense of the divine, a search for meaning or purpose. So, I mean, whatever it is you believe, but what brought you out here is your business. But if it has anything to do with finding those kids, we can't prevent tragedies of the past, but hopefully we can save any of them who are still out there. So,
well, I want to give you a warning. I mean, are you a married man? It's none of my business, but are you?
If you must know, yes.
Whatever this thing is, it looks for ways to attack you personally, and it will make you. It drove our friend crazy, and he committed suicide. it looks for things in your past that it can use against you. And I sound like a complete banana, but just keep your wits about you, dude. We don't know you, but we don't want you to get hurt. We've all been attacked.
I've seen plenty of things, experienced plenty of things out here.
All right.
Sorry, what is your name, sir?
Rooster.
Rooster.
McMahon. It's really calm, but everybody calls me Rooster.
All Rooster's trying to say is that it would behoove you to keep an open mind here. Many of us going into the incident in Boston were pretty diehard skeptics. Now we're not so sure anymore.
What I'm really saying is I don't want to see any more people die.
I mean, that would be the best, I think, the best outcome, Rooster. But if I just respond briefly, I mean, if there is a god out there, he sure as hell ain't looking over this desert.
If you find yourself in distress, take advantage of us because we know what's going on. Don't hold it in and say, nobody will believe this if I say it out loud. Tell us, because we will. I'm sorry. I sound like a complete crazy person, but
if
don't
anything,
trouble yourself. Don't trouble yourself about it.
If anything, Deputy, this is not something that a gun could solve. A bullet can solve. It's something which it will, as my friends have said, it can reach really deep into your soul, into your psyche.
Well, if I have anything of a soul left, I suppose it's at hazard in this line of work anyway. So, shall we go find this old Thom?
Yeah, let's seek him out.
Okay. So will you be walking on foot because it's a pretty small town, or are you going to be driving around in your squad car?
I guess we'll just be walking around. You're talking about a small town, so you can literally walk end to end in 5 minutes.
That's correct. Very well. All right. Can I get a group luck roll, please?
Lowest person?
Yeah.
Yes.
Lowest. I am at 54.
I'm at 68.
I'm at 55.
71. Pretty good.
Oh, time to start spending.
Yeah.
45. Nope.
Okay. In that case, as you're walking up the street, you pass by the school where there is a middle-aged white woman among a lot of Native American children. She gives you a casual wave. She's slightly plump with blonde hair turning white and small wire-frame spectacles.
Like a school teacher, or?
Yeah, that fits the description.
No.
Okay. Where are you heading?
Do we know where this guy lives?
We'll just
ask her.
I'll find somebody.
Yeah.
Ask her.
Okay, so you're going
Excuse me.
to
Yeah.
approach her? Sure. So you say, excuse me?
Excuse me.
Yes.
We were looking for somebody named Old Thom.
Oh, old Thom? Yeah, he likes to hang out at the grocer.
Okay.
And
Thanks.
he hits on young women, so just be very careful.
I mean, I don't pass usually because a young woman.
Like
but...
any of us are young women, so.
You're a school teacher?
Yes, my name's Anna Rainberg, and I'm also the principal, school nurse, and janitor. And that goes for the whole town sometimes.
Wow. How many
Sounds
kids
about
do you
right.
have?
20.
It's a good number.
Yeah, why are you looking for old Tom? You want to listen to his stories?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, he's a liar at times. So
Well, we're
take
trying to
everything he
collect.
says with a grain of salt.
We're trying to collect some of the local legends and stories.
Well, he'll be able to tell you that for sure. And don't give Tom, and actually don't give anyone on the reservation booze. There's
No, of
too
course
much of
not.
that here as it is. And she seems pretty bitter about it.
Yeah, we won't cause any trouble.
Good. Well, I best be on the way. I'm putting the kids back into class. And she turns towards a younger boy sleeping in the shade of a tree near the school. And she says, "Come on, Jimmy. It's time to go home. Come on." She heads inside.
All right, I guess we can go to the grocer and see if Tom's hanging out there chewing the fat.
Yeah.
I'm glad she could take some time out of her schedule of being principal, teacher, and janitor to talk to us. That was very kind.
She probably makes the kids take care of each other. Older kids take care of the younger kids.
Maybe, yeah. It's a pretty small school.
It's
Okay.
like an old-fashioned
This
school.
is a pretty small town.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everyone really would know everyone here. That being said, you're heading over to the grocer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Make another group luck roll, please.
Sorry, guys. Oh, that's a success.
All right, then, Antonio, you get a phone call. Number you don't recognize.
Yes. Hello?
Hello, is this Antonio? This is Enrique Echeverria.
Oh, yes. Yes, it's Antonio. Pleasure speaking with you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Yes, I'm just wondering if we're not too far. We're at this Peach Springs. I'm just wondering if you're open for an in-person meeting over at Las Vegas.
Ah, you searching for the city of gloom?
Yes, the city, the one that you've mentioned in your book. It's quite fascinating how you described how within the mural there are periods, buildings from different periods, such as medieval castles, skyscrapers, all building into one.
Right.
Is it of Native American origin, or what do you think? Out of curiosity.
I think that we should have a talk. Does dinner work well for you, my home?
Oh, yes, of course. Dinner would be fantastic. So about, I'm not too far. Would 6 o'clock be okay?
Yes, that works for me.
All right. And is it all right if I can bring a couple of friends of mine who are quite interested in this as well?
Of course. How many?
4.
Got it.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Arechivaria.
Yes, of course. I'll see you at 6 o'clock then.
Okay. See you soon. Thank you.
You think so?
We're gonna have dinner with the author at 6 o'clock.
Thank you, Andy. That's good.
Yeah, he sounds very nice, very cordial. But he did mention the name of the city, called the City of Gloom.
Gloom. Size.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like he knows something more about this. So that's good, I guess.
Yes, hopefully it will enlighten us on some things we don't know.
So, Deputy, we're going to have dinner with an author who got lost out here when he was a child, and he saw a city, and once again, it's more stuff. It has to do with this.
All right.
All right. After you hang up the phone, the grocer is right up the street. There's a few stalls set up in front of it, like selling trinkets, other Kachina dolls.
Maybe we can identify the Kachina doll. One of the people who are selling Kachina dolls might know what it is.
Good idea.
Yeah, maybe even old Thom might have something to say about it.
Okay. In that case, I'd like all of you to make a spot hidden roll, please.
That is a
failure.
An extreme.
I got a hard success.
Regular.
Okay, so as you go to peruse the goods in the stall, you walk past the grocer, which is opened, and towards the back, you can see a very small, almost 70-year-old man, very, very tanned skin, and he's smiling at these two younger women with gaps in his teeth. And that's when you are stopped by the trinket sellers at the front who flag you down and say, "Oh, look at this. Look at this. You want to buy it? It's very cheap."
Very nice, but no, not right now. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, I can hazard a guess that that guy back there is old Thom, so I'm going to walk closer.
Maybe June should do the walking.
Yeah, I'll go with you, Nathaniel.
Sure.
All right. So he's pretty damn old. He's dressed in jeans, a beige Western shirt, and weathered boots. He's got a battered cowboy hat on with a rattlesnake rattle attached to the brim. He smiles at you with his remaining teeth, and he says, "Oh, howdy. Nice to meet you. Can you spare a smoke or five?"
Yeah, why not? Here.
You just hand him the pack. All right. Oh, he gladly takes it. And he starts smoking the cigarette.
Well, my name's Nathaniel Pickering.
Pleased to meet you.
Yeah, pleasure to meet you too. I've been told that you know a lot of the local lore around the area.
Yes, that I do. You've come to the right person. He gives you a wink.
Is this a good time to talk? Maybe we could, if there's a diner or someplace we could talk for a while. We have a few questions.
Well, if you're paying.
Yeah, I'd buy you lunch.
Sure.
Okay, so yeah, there's a diner down the street with some basic foods, and he sits down at the table with you all.
Right.
He kind of picks at his teeth, and he eyes you, Brigham. I'm in trouble?
No, not at all.
No, you. Should you be?
Nah. I'm old Thom. Wouldn't hurt a fly.
You were just recommended to us as somebody who knows some of the local legends.
Oh, I do. Well, what do you want to know?
Well, I suppose we ought to start with some contexts, right, guys?
He smokes
yeah.
another cigarette.
Well, we come in from Boston. My daughter, Ellie, she's missing in this desert. You might have heard of the group of college-age kids go missing recently.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to make of them in particular. Kids losing themselves out there in the desert. It ain't no place to play around. That desert, it's old. And it catches men's dreams.
Yes, sir. Well,
Gives them back too.
she's still out there. She's still out there, and we need to find her. And what we thought might have been, or hoped might have been, a simple search and rescue. Well, it's looking like there's a bit more to it than that. And we started to become aware of some local legends, and we're inclined to think that it might have something to do with it. We've all been having strange dreams, and seeing things that really got no right to be there. And we can't make any sense of it. We've visited the library in Kingman and with limited success, and we were hoping that maybe you knew something more about what might be going on here and what they might be dealing with.
Okay. So what are you seeing?
Well, a lot.
What do you want to know about?
Well, is there any significance to the symbolism of a man with a bull's head?
Well, that's obviously some kind of spirit, either trying to warn you away from something or lure you to it. And he digs greedily into his scrambled eggs.
Lure us towards something.
And like I said, that desert catches men's dreams. And sometimes when men wander into it, they see things they think they've lost. And so they get themselves lost out there trying to get those things back. And when those men die, well, the desert takes their dreams and uses them to lure other men just the same.
Huh. So, well, my friend Rooster and I both had, oddly enough, the same dream. We were going down a road, we were driving down the road, and we reached a T intersection. And it was the middle of the night. There was a woman walking down the road. It was raining, and she was walking three dogs?
3 dogs.
And we stopped to talk with her. Figured she's out in the middle of the night raining. Maybe could give her a ride home. And well, she didn't want to ride home. In fact, she started getting a little esoteric, I guess. The rest of the details are a little blurry. We're asking her if she could help us with looking for my daughter. And she said something about that she already went home. She wouldn't elaborate on it. She seemed pretty confident that we'd figure out what that meant soon enough. And there were some lights up on the hill, weren't there, Rooster?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know anything about lights on the hills or a woman walking 3 dogs. But I see you've got a Kachina doll.
Yes, sir. This was given to us by the man who owns the outfitter shop in Kingman. He told us a story that goes with it. That
he nods sagely.
Yeah, he said that he got lost back in the 60s, maybe, in this desert, and this doll guided him home. I asked him if we could borrow it, maybe it could help us, and it took a little bit of convincing, but he let us take it.
So he nods sagely once more, and he says, "Yep, well, that there's a talisman, and, well, they usually show up in 3s. And if you're lucky, there'll be 2 more. One will get you where you want to go, another will get you home from there, and the 3rd one will protect you along the way."
That's interesting. The man who owned the shop didn't mention anything about the other 2, but...
Well, I've got one on myself right here. And he has a leather thong around his skinny neck. And on it is a well-worn sliver of silver that he holds up to you. It's shaped vaguely like a lightning bolt.
Oh, so they're not all Kachina dolls. They're just talisman. They have different kinds.
Yep. You know them when you see them.
What is your talisman? Do you know?
Well, this what's it do? Don't know for sure. He gives a little chuckle. But this here rattlesnake, and he tips his hat brim with the rattlesnake rattler on it. It tried to bite me and locked his teeth in my boot before I stomped him with the other one. And I missed the bus to Kingman once, and it went off the road and turned over. And I got the notion to leave Edna Rame's trailer early the night her husband came home sick from work. It's a good luck charm.
Okay.
So it's protecting you. Would you be willing to sell it to us?
$200.
$100. about 50?
Give me a roll. Let's call it a persuade.
46. I don't know what that is. Let's see. Persuade. No, it's nowhere near.
$200.
Oh my God. Should we all pitch in a little?
Sure, it's steep, but if it works.
Tell you what, you're tugging my heartstrings. Maybe 150, and since you've already got lunch.
All right. We're trying to find this girl. Do you know anything about caves with cave paintings? I'll show him the picture once again.
Yeah. Well, I don't know anything about those cave paintings. You find out where that cave is? I think you'll find it if you get lost. Peyote's a good way to get lost. And then he looks at the deputy.
I'm sure it is.
And what would you know about that, old Thom?
Oh, I know. It's a blight on our civilization. Also, do you give him the money?
Yeah.
Yeah, 150.
It's
All right, he snatches
dollars
it.
down the drain.
I'm not pitching into that.
He waves the bills at the young waitresses, and he gives you the silver lightning bolt looking talisman.
Better spend it quickly, old Thom, because if this is really your luck, nothing keeping you from getting on that crashing bus.
I'm not the one trying to go into a desert and get lost.
Do you have any legends about 3 sisters or 3 mothers?
Well,
3 spirits that travel together and cause sorrow and craziness.
No, I wouldn't know anything like that, but I'd stay away from them if I were you. They sound like trouble.
There's trouble.
I'm going to inspect the talisman. I'm going to look on the back of it. Is there anything stamped into the back?
No.
China.
It's genuine silver.
Okay.
He finishes up his meal. I'm assuming you're paying for it.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
I'd best be off.
Well, appreciate your time, and thanks for the talisman.
What do you think the 3rd talisman would be?
I mean, if you show me, I'd probably be able to identify it for you.
Oh, we don't have anything, but thanks.
Give me an intelligence roll, everyone. Besides Brigham.
Yeah, I got an extreme.
Okay.
Regular.
Yeah, there was a particular object you got on a desert highway.
The feather.
The feather.
Oh, hell. Kurt has the feather, doesn't he?
Yep. But it also might be
Can you give
at
that?
the bedside table where he left it.
Could it be a feather?
Could be.
Golden eagle feather?
Yeah, that sounds pretty plausible to me. Well, anyway, gotta go.
I'm sure it does.
He takes his lot of cash.
Be careful where you spend it, and I'll eye him, and then over to the young ladies he was waving it at.
Yep.
Certain ways of
heading-
spending your money are a crime,
Oh, don't worry. This is just for presents. And he's running over the grocers.
Not necessarily on the Indian reservation.
Not
Well,
necessarily.
maybe it wasn't a total waste of time, but it probably.
It might have been a total waste of time. Jesus.
To be honest, even though the Youngblood has advised us not to talk to Joseph Two Knives, I don't.
Might
It's
not
worth
even be safe to get near him if he's a drug runner. What if he murdered the kids?
He probably wouldn't be willing to talk to us with Deputy McCullen around. Either,
Probably not.
Yeah, you keep using the word probably. I can guarantee that's not going to happen.
Go plain
Well,
clothes.
We've
And
got.
I must
2 hours
say,
to
you
Vegas.
guys came off a little light. I've seen people give far more money for little trinkets.
We split it. I mean, doesn't make it too bad.
Who's wearing this silver bolt?
I was holding it, so if anyone
I
wants
think Nathaniel's our focus because
Yeah.
it's his daughter.
All right.
You take it, Nathaniel. It's 2 hours to Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
What
how
time is
long
it?
did it take us to get out
Probably
here?
It's 2.5 from here to Vegas.
Yep.
What time is it?
It's still
1
morning.
o'clock.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Oh yeah, you just
Well.
had lunch and all that, and you were talking to people.
Well, whatever we want to do here, we should wrap up the next couple of hours. We can.
yeah. And we
Is
should
there
see if the
some
feather. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we should go back and get the feather, and then I'm just curious if they have some type of historical society, or some archive,
visitor
we can-
center, something like that.
Yeah, they have all that. They have a visitor center for sure.
They have a casino.
No.
Oh, then they might not have a very, very wealthy visitor center.
It'd be worth a look anyway.
Yeah. Since we're
We
here,
seem
it's a small
to
town.
coincidentally stumble on information all the time these days.
It's true. It's true.
All right. So you're gonna head over to the visitor center. It's got a nice wooden porch at the front of it, a lot of glass windows. And you step inside. There's a lot of signs saying, stay on the path, don't wander off, as well as a wall of brochures with ATV rentals and other outdoor activities that you can do in this desert. But it's pretty bare.
Is there a
Like a map.
curator a person who's working the desk here?
Yeah. There's a younger man working at the desk.
See if he knows precisely what Kachina that is.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Okay.
It
So
looks like buffalo.
that's so you go up to the young man, and his name's John, and he looks at it because you ask him, and he says, well, that's the buffalo Kachina, and that is for protection over people and homes. It's one of the most the buffalo is one of the most powerful spirits. And Nathaniel, you do get that feeling that you know exactly where your home is while you're holding it.
Is that referring me to my home, like Rockport home?
No, your hotel.
Okay. Got it.
Are you aware of any caves in this area that are known to have cave paintings or anything like that?
No, I'm not familiar with that, ma'am.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Well, hope you're finding Peach Springs accommodable.
It's a nice little town.
Yeah.
Good.
So, are we planning to go back to get the feather from the hotel before we go to Vegas?
I think it's on the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We've got to go back through Kingman to go.
Okay. So, are you going to do anything in particular in Kingman? There are some leads in Kingman. That being Jeremy.
Oh yeah, Jeremy, the one who the hospital.
Yeah, you were told that he is getting a lot better.
We could pay him a quick visit. It shouldn't take long just to talk to him for a little while.
Sure. Why not?
Okay.
Help Deputy McCullen's investigation anyway.
All right, let's go back.
All right, so you drive across the desert once more to get to the city of Kingman, which is a welcome sight of civilization. And you enter the hospital where Jeremy Brenton is staying. He's currently sitting up in his hospital bed, still hooked up to IVs. However, this time he's conscious. He still has welts all over his body, as well as his missing fingers. And he looks towards you. He speaks up, says, hello.
Hello, Jeremy.
Hello, son.
Yeah, he's badly sunburned. There's a lot of bandages covering his wrist and shoulder.
Hi, Jeremy. It's Nathaniel again. Do you remember when I came and talked to you before?
Shakes his head. No.
Well, you were in a pretty bad way. I came to visit when your parents were in here, and you were a little rough. I was just trying to see how you were doing and see if maybe you could remember a few things about what happened to you out there.
I don't know. A lady with these huge eagle wings looked like she had a beak too. She whipped me.
How did you make it out of there? Did she go away?
I remember I had my knife, and I looked at this woman to protect Ellie.
What?
Now, and then he looks around confused. I think Ellie's gone home. And I think Jesse's dead. And
What about Nick?
Nick is gone. Nick's not gone. Nick is dead. Jesse and Chad are gone.
What do you mean about
Jesse-
Ellie going home?
Yeah, what is gone home? What does that mean?
I just know Ellie has gone home. That's all I can think of when I think of Ellie.
Is this lady with the eagle wings and the whip, is she the one who took Ellie home?
No,
No.
She was-
who did?
it was the woman with the inescapable eyes. They were so sad.
Took Ellie away?
She brought Ellie home.
In the desert?
He nods. In the city.
City? This city?
Shakes his head no.
The city of gloom.
He shrugs.
And
In the-
what's with the
In the
How
pictures. Sorry, you go ahead.
I was gonna ask, so if Ellie went off with this woman with the sad eyes, who was it? Was it the lady with huge eagle wings, as you said? Is she the one who killed Nick and Jesse?
No. She was a fury.
One of the Greek Furies.
He nods.
Did
Why
she
would
whip
have-
you? Is that why you're covered in whip marks?
He nods his head. I tried to threaten the old lady with the sad eyes with my knife, and then she came.
You remember where you were just before this happened?
I don't. We got lost. Our compasses stopped working. They went round and round and round, and then our GPS said we were in South Africa.
But you were on a trail. Where did you leave the
got
trail?
off the trail around the Three Sisters.
Were you out there in that desert just to do sightseeing, or were you looking?
Yeah. We were just gonna have a good time going hiking, and then we were gonna spend the rest of our time in Vegas.
You kids were you taking any substances?
No, of course not.
It's okay. If you won't get in trouble. I just need you to be honest with me.
No.
Nick was the one who convinced you to. Was this part of your itinerary, or was this a last minute thing?
He always wanted to go hiking with us, and we all agreed because we thought it'd be fun. And now Nick's dead. Jesse and Chad are gone, and Ellie went home.
In the pictures,
He starts to breathe a little heavier.
Okay, take it easy. Take it easy. It's gonna be okay.
Okay.
you're in good company. We're just trying to figure out what happened. And you said Ellie went home. Would you say that she is safe? How you say that? Is that something?
He nods in confirmation.
Okay. Do you, and on the hand-drawn map, do you know anywhere where the caves are? Because in one of the pictures that we recovered, there was a cave and then this mural. Do you know where it is?
He shakes his head. I don't know where we were when we found that cave. We were lost.
I want to show him one of the photographs that looks like there are figures in the background.
Okay.
And I just want to point to those figures. And I said, do you know who these people are?
When you say figures, you mean the heat hazy silhouettes? All right, so when you point those out...
I'll call them, yeah. I'm like, do you know who these... I'll refer to them as people. You know who these people are?
He tenses up instantaneously, and you can see him look from that picture towards the figure, from the figures to his hand, where 3 of his fingers have been bitten off, and he keeps going back and forth.
How many figures are there in the photo?
Just one.
One. Is this figure the woman with sad eyes or the one with the eagle wings?
He shakes his head. And he starts to breathe even heavier, panting, hyperventilating.
Jeremy,
One of the pictures was
it's okay.
the man
I'll
with...
put a hand on his shoulder.
Okay.
And just like, steady, son, steady. No,
I'd like a
you're safe
persuade
here.
or a charm.
I got far more persuade than I do charm. 84 is not good. I don't have that much persuade.
Okay. You gonna spend luck or push the roll?
Oh.
Or you can let it lie.
Well, if I don't push it, he's gonna hyperventilate and he's not gonna tell us.
If you
And if I
push
push
the
it,
roll
I
and
might
fail, he's going to probably have a full-on panic attack, and nurses are probably going to usher you all out.
Right. I don't know how much farther we're gonna get if I don't. I'm gonna push it.
Okay.
41 is a pass.
All right. In that case, you're very firm but gentle, and you manage to calm him down. And then he says, "Those are the dwellers in the sand. There's more than one."
How do you know the names?
One of our pictures had the cow skull man, didn't it?
Yes.
I'd like to show him the picture.
Okay. Make a luck roll. Group luck roll.
Oh, okay, then that's Nathaniel.
That's actually a success.
Okay. So, yeah, he holds his... He's a little disturbed at it, but he's never seen this thing. The skull-headed man before.
Never seen him?
No.
Okay.
You can see a lot of energy has been exerted out of him, and he's slowly, drifting away.
Nathaniel, I think you were trying to say something to him. Did you?
Yeah, Jeremy, how do you know the names of all of these things?
Just gestures. He gestures to his head.
You just know.
Just know.
So you think you were, though, near the Three Sisters when all
But we got lost.
started. Well, yeah, you left the trail.
Yeah.
But the last thing you remember is the Three Sisters. The rocks.
I don't know which direction we went, but we got lost after that. And then we found that place, that city.
You said your compass was spinning around.
It didn't work.
I wonder if there's lodestone or something out there in the desert, natural magnets that would throw your compass way off.
And oh God, Chad got lost. Now he's gone.
Well, weren't you all together?
We were. He went into the maze, and then he just disappeared. And then we found the city.
So after the maze.
Yeah, Ellie said she saw a city in the distance. And we thought Chad might have been there. It's coming back to me slowly. I'm tired.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Thank you, Jeremy. Just get some rest and get better.
He nods weakly.
Everything will be okay.
There's a sadness in his eyes.
We're going to have to go if we're going to make a 6 o'clock appointment in Vegas.
Yeah.
Let's head out.
Yes, you ain't hang in there, son.
We'll check up on you tomorrow.
Okay. Promise?
Yeah, we'll tell you if we find anybody.
Absolutely.
Okay. In that case, you'll head out to Las Vegas to meet up with Enrique Echevarria.
Yeah, we'll go to the hotel, get the feather, and then...
Feather, yes. Is it there?
The feather is in the hotel on the nightstand next to the bed.
Yeah, Antonio,
Nathaniel,
Kurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get it and give the feather to Nathaniel. Here.
Okay.
It's strange to me that Jeremy, all these differentiations. Jessie isn't dead. She's, what did he say? Missing? No.
Gone.
Gone. But
She's
she's
dead.
dead. We found her body. So but these differentiations, he said someone else was dead.
He
so
said
what does
Nick
that
was
mean?
dead.
Nick is dead, but we found Jesse's body and he didn't say she was dead. So what's the differentiation there?
Maybe he's just confused.
Yeah, I think Rooster is right. When people go through things, things have a tendency to get all scrambled around. So I mean, gone.
He's pretty out of it.
They're similar enough words.
It's also significant that when we're bringing up things that we've experienced, he doesn't seem to know anything about those. So maybe we're all just suffering some sort of, stress hallucination or something.
Well, I mean, if he said he saw a Greek fury, I mean, if you see old Sisyphus out on one of those hills, rolling that boulder up.
The thing is that we hadn't mentioned anything about the Furies, and yet our research has brought up the Furies. So how he pulled that out of his hat, I don't know.
We can't.
Unless there's an actual connection.
We can't ignore the connections. Not saying we put all of our faith into it, but we can't ignore it either.
Maybe, Deputy, if you're good, we'll go over the entire story of our previous experience for you. Maybe on the drive out.
Are you going to reveal all the weird supernatural shit that will make you totally look off your rocker?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think we should.
Brigham, if you're even interested, but
he's a captive audience.
Well, we got 2 hours to Vegas.
All right. So that's what we'll kind of do as we're driving.
So they tell you of clearly supernatural encounters with this Mater Tenebrarum, who is this old hag / woman who feeds off of misery and causes and feeds off of depression and tries to cause suicide and madness. That's the story they tell. Do you tell any stories?
As they finish, I'll say, now that's mighty interesting. When I first joined the force, my first partner, Weston Pines, there was a domestic violence call. We responded to it. Kind of a ranch, kind of out in the middle of what you would call nowhere. And well, I hesitated slightly, and in those few moments, Pines was shot, and he didn't make it. I was pretty depressed, as the doctors said. That's what they called it, depression. For quite a long time, I kept having these dreams of Pines. He would come to me, and tell me it was all my fault, and then I might as well join him. And towards the end of it, right before I hit the breaking point and almost listened, there was, I don't know, something off about him, and in the dream I thought he was, it wasn't really Pines. I thought it was some old woman pretending to be Pines. She looked goddamn so much like Pines, but it's a dream, you can just tell these things. It's like how somebody's in a dream with you, you can't see them. Same thing with Pines, but it wasn't Pines. You see all manner of strange and terrible things out here.
Yeah. Be careful of that. My dead brother keeps visiting me in my dreams, trying to make me feel guilty. I am guilty, but I'm getting over it. Oh, and also, Dead Frank visits me every once in a while. And I didn't even know the guy. He's just a dude that we saw get killed.
There are many ghosts that I see. Pines is still among them. But the longer I've been out here doing this, the more and more ghosts I seem to collect.
Well, The only people we can rely on is one another. Hey, there's the lights of Vegas shining over the... we're almost there.
You are?
Almost there if it wasn't for all this dead stop traffic.
That is true.
So eventually, you do get to Echevaria's place, which is a modest ranch-style house in a middle-class residential neighborhood. Are you showing up in the squad car?
Uh,
Yeah.
I did say I'm bringing friends. I just didn't mention that one of them is a police officer.
Okay.
Sounds like we are.
Yeah, Antonio will walk up to the door and knock.
All right. So, Echevarria answers the door. Looks like he's in his 70s. He's tall and stocky and he looks Mexican and Native American. And he's got these wizened brown eyes. His long, thin, light brown hair is shot through with gray, and it's scraggly and long. He is wearing a buckskin with Navajo designs and some jeans as well as some tennis shoes. And he graciously greets you. Says, "Oh, you must be Andy, and please come in. Let me get some refreshments."
Yes, thank you. And here are my friends, and he'll introduce like Rooster, June, Nathaniel, and McCullen, Officer McCullen.
Oh, excellent. Well, dinner is ready at the table, and he smiles as he gestures towards Chinese food he ordered.
Thank you very much. It was very kind of you to host us.
You're welcome. Anything for a fan of my work. But yes, I believe it's time to talk about what you discussed over the phone, Andy.
Yes. My friend Kurt and I were reading your books, The Signed Desert and The Desert of My Dreams. It's quite fascinating how your story about how you wandered into the desert, and he just goes on basically recalling what he has written.
Right, and he'll probably add that, yes, we should start from the beginning. I was the son of Juan Carlos Maria Echevarria and a young Huapali woman named Belinda. Now, Juan was killed on the beaches of Normandy in 1944, and my mother, Belinda, was overcome with grief. She took me into the desert to basically die. But then she ushered me out at the last moments. We were delirious, unable to find water, and we stumbled upon a ruined village in the wastes. And what was peculiar about that is that it had huts, it had ranch-style homes like what I live in now, as well as skyscrapers.
In the middle of the desert.
Yes, I don't know whether this city was real or not, but I've come to the conclusion that it was some kind of hallucination from the heat, or a false memory to get me to leave my dead mother behind and to save myself. The ability of the mind to delude itself in order to protect its host is quite admirable.
We are currently investigating some lost teenagers, Nathaniel's daughter among them.
I'm sorry to hear that.
We found one of the teens, unfortunately, who had passed away in the middle of the desert. She was Jessie. She had taken some photographs in the desert, in which we also recovered. One of the things she took a photograph is this, and I show him a picture of the city.
The city in the cave paintings?
Yeah.
Yes, that looks like it. I've never felt as much isolation there.
Have you seen this? This
I
cave?
haven't seen the cave, but I've seen the city with my eyes. I've been in the city. I've tried so many times to paint it over and over again, but I couldn't. And I do have some of my works here. And he gestures towards the other room.
Oh.
And on that other room, on an altar, is a painted portrait of a woman with of a Native American woman. You can't tell her age, but her eyes, they're piercing. Her expression is unguessable, like the Mona Lisa.
Is this your mom?
Yes, it is. It is Belinda Echeverria.
She was beautiful.
Yes.
I'm sorry for your loss.
So
I've come to terms with it.
We are trying very hard to find these kids.
I've heard ways to get into this desert. And he glances nervously at the police officer.
What ways are these?
But you shouldn't seek it out. There's been too many people who have tried to seek it out and have never returned.
Well, the thing is that it's his daughter. We can't not.
Yeah, I mean,
Seek
Ellie's
it out.
out there. What ways are these?
We were told that there might be someplace near the Three Sisters.
I think it's more complex than that. In order to get into this city, my hypothesis is that you'd have to become lost yourselves. Whether that be to abandon your compasses, your GPS, or to take peyote. To lose all traces of your bearings.
Actually,
That's how you become. To get to the lost city is to become lost yourselves.
that is quite a risk since compasses are not known to even work. They'll show that we're in different locations.
Well, how do you become truly lost? You abandon your maps, your GPSs, or I suppose there's other ways to become lost. You could wear a blindfold.
This tracks with what that outfitter told us. He was out there and they were having a good time and they were imbibing.
Right.
I just God think that it's harder to get lost nowadays than it's ever been. It's
Yeah. I mean, even old Thom, as cracked up as he was, he suggested the same thing.
It seems like in this desert, not even time makes any sense, and that's what Andy will bring up. Because unfortunately, we did find one of the teenagers, but the condition of the body seems to be older than it should be. And the mention of the city has all these different buildings at different time periods. My theory that this desert is where time and space just is irrelevant. That's why people are getting lost. And as you said, that's a way to get lost. The concept of space and time just goes out of your head.
Mr. Echeverria.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of the name Mater Tenebrarum? No, Mater Suspiriorum.
I have not.
And I tell him the basics of the legend, the three sorrows. We have reason to believe that this desert of sighs might be some sort of connection point. And I don't know what we don't know what to do. We need to get those kids back.
So you say that you have a theory about how to get into this desert. What about getting out?
I managed to find my way out by simply walking out.
Okay.
I imagine if you get lucky and pick the right direction, you'll run across a road or a
We also
town or
have-
The
something.
Sighing Desert is a big place. It'll take days to traverse fully.
We have the Kachina doll too. I don't like putting faith in that, but
Problem is that to get lost, if the Kachina doll leads us out, then we're not really lost, are we? Or a GPS or anything like that. If we can find a way to get lost without being without getting lost.
I mean, blindfold.
Temporarily lost.
Yeah.
It's a difficult prospect. Goes against all your instincts to get yourself lost on purpose.
How old is this fellow?
He says that he's 71.
So you don't fancy going for a walk out there in the desert, no?
I have been to the Sighing Desert many times, but I have never been able to find my way back to that desert city. And at my age,
Yeah,
can't
it's
do it anymore.
Did you ever encounter any other spirits? A man with a Native American man with a cow skull, or a woman with 3 dogs, coyotes.
No, I have not. I wish I
What about
could help you
those-
there.
What about the figures in the photograph? Not the cow skull.
Well,
man.
let's show them those. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever seen anything like this? No.
I've never seen anything like that.
They look like excuse me, they're small, right? Like children, you said? They look like children, but they're blurry. Nothing like that?
No.
Wow. No.
Do you know anything about a lady with huge eagle wings? A beak?
That sounds like something out of fantasy.
It's starting to sound like everything is disconnected and out of fantasy.
This city of gloom of yours. Were you the only one there?
No. I've heard other people talking about having visited or seeking it out. Inspired by my books, but there's too many people who have gotten hurt over those books.
When you
And I
were
regret
there,
that deeply.
when
a
you
handful.
were there other people?
Well, some have reached out to me, and asked about the experience like yourselves. Do take care. I hope you find your way home.
Thank you, sir.
Find our way home.
From the city, I presume.
I wonder if going home is leaving the city. Anyways, thank you for your time.
Yes, of course. And he starts to clean up the trash.
Oh, Andy will help.
Can we
That's
offer
good.
you anything for your time?
Oh no, your company was delightful. Thank you. And do take care. That desert is very dangerous.
I want to look at his paintings of this, or his attempted paintings of this city.
Yeah, he could never really draw it. So they're mostly
Is there
landscapes.
Yeah, but it's the landscapes that I'm interested in. I'm not interested in the buildings or whatever, like mountain ranges.
Oh yeah, sure.
Those sorts of things.
Okay, so yes, there's some landscapes. There's actually one of the Three Sisters rock formation.
I think this is where we need to get back to, honestly.
Yeah. It's her best bet.
Okay.
Oh,
So
it'll
are
take
you
a bit
heading
more
back?
Time. Yeah.
So, as we're driving back,
Mhm.
I'm thinking about the 3 talisman. We know that the Kachina doll supposedly gets you back where you want to, where your home is. What did Thom say the other one said? One of them protects you?
Yeah.
And one of them leads you to your destination.
One of them leads you to your destination. Maybe if
The
that,
feather.
you think the eagle feather, well, maybe the eagle feather
right.
then, I mean, what do you
He
do? Make a
insisted.
wish on it?
Yeah, what do you once you get back to Kingman, Arizona, what are you doing with the eagle feather?
Well, what you could do, if one was interested in exploring any mystical properties of feathers, and whether or not they lead you places, you could tie a string to it, take it out there, tie the string around your wrist, but let it be long and just let the breeze take it, see where the feather wants to go.
It's interesting, yeah.
Do I have a feeling similarly, like with the Kachina, that I know where I'm going to as well as where home is?
No, you just know where home is. You have this gut feeling that you know that is the direction of your hotel. Your
Maybe
place
the
of safety.
talisman, maybe the talisman are there so that you can find your way in and out of the desert. Our goal is to find your daughter and then find our way out.
So assuming if these three work, we can just leave our cell phones, GPS, anything. But that's a huge risk.
That's a huge risk. Maybe we just promise not to look at those things unless we freak ourselves out.
But maybe that's it. It's the act of taking the risk. I don't like it any more than you do, but
And maybe we buy a 30 rack of Bush Light and go out there and have at it and find the desert.
At campfire, that sounds pleasant.
If I walk out there and I've got GPS, but I put that in my pocket, then I spin around a few times so that I'm completely disoriented, and then just start wandering in whatever direction I happen to be looking in. Am I lost?
I think you still be keeping. You'll still
Is
be
the
walking in a
GM
spiral.
answering my question? No, no, I don't want to.
I think they did that.
I'm not
like,
talking.
I think they did that. They either blindfold someone. You just go into naturally go into a spiral. Really, if I remember correctly.
What about
I mean, we were already
camping out and taking peyote?
There's that.
I mean,
I'd rather try
someone.
this mystical feather idea before I'd advise that.
Also, none of our equipment works out there anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
it is true. You're not wrong there.
We have a hand-drawn map. Just get pencil, paper. We kind of draw what landmarks we can find.
Jessie, did Jessie find her way out and die in the process? Because obviously she's not in the city. She's dead in the desert.
Yeah, that's hard to tell.
I don't know. This is all so bananas and crazy, but you know, we Deputy, we were standing there on the trail and we were at the maze, and I had a vision. I had a vision of the cow-skulled man, and he pointed off the trail and we decided to leave the trail there and go in the direction that he pointed, and he pointed right to where Jessie was. So the spiritual, I want to say bullshit, but is it bullshit? Because it led us right to where she was. Do we trust that shit?
Well, to be honest, I trust any visions you're having not on peyote, you know.
I mean, okay, look, we can get lost as long as we've got plenty of water. At least we're not going to die of dehydration. And probably, even if it was a couple of days, we'd probably find something that would bring ourselves out. The risk it's substantial, but it's not overwhelming.
And it's, at this point, the only lead we have to finding Nathaniel's daughter. Nothing else is coming up.
Let's take the risk for Nathaniel's daughter. I mean, she went home, whatever that means, but we need to bring her home.
Deputy McCullen, how do you feel about all of this? Self-endangerment.
Well, going out there taking a bunch of hallucinogenics sounds dumb as hell to me.
We can start with your feather idea.
If it's...
I like the feather idea.
Look, I mean, that kid lost a couple of his fingers. Some of them are dead. There's a difference between being lost and being out of your mind. So I am not...
Okay.
I do not condone any going out there and taking hallucinogenics.
Well, we'll start with your idea. How about that? If that doesn't get us anywhere, then we'll reevaluate.
Yeah.
Okay. And one more thing. Are you just dropping them off at their hotel and then heading home yourself, Deputy?
Yes.
All right.
I'm not.
Will you meet us in the morning?
Night. Yeah, I'll meet you in the morning.
All right. In that case, there's just one last scene. As you get dropped off and the deputy drives off, you can see leaning against the pillar of one of the hotels, arms crossed, a reptilian predatory smile across his face. There is a Native American, the same one that you saw driving that motorcycle, Nathaniel. This is Joseph Two Knives. He's smiling, and he's going to greet you. And that's where we're going to end it.
Our players included Holly Buteau, Morgan Llewellyn, Dan Topalis, Nell Hipple, and myself, with Alex Sun as the keeper of the secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with our other members. You can set up private games. You can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows, free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.